Hello and welcome to the Swamps. Today we're going to be doing a tarot reading on how women view you. So if you're interested in how men view you, I already have that video posted, so you can check that out as well. But this one's about how women view you. Doesn't have to be romantic, can totally be platonic. Let's get started. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. All right, let's get ready. Let's do this. Hello, pile number 1. This is your tarot reading for how women view you. You chose the Pyrite. I recently just got this piece and it's so cool. I love it so much. All right. I wonder if the Fool card will come out because that's considered fool's gold. Hoping for it, but probably not. So we're going to get into your Oracle cards and then we'll get into your tarot cards. Okay, let's get started. Your first card is Fox. When I pulled this card, when I just looked at it, I heard Stone Cold Fox. So I think that's relevant here. And then we have Thief. Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Shadow attributes stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Then we have 16, Conception. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. And then our last oracle card is Sagittarius and Mars in the 9th house with domination. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that women find you to be a bit intimidating, especially with this Fox coming out and with this domination coming out. I can already tell, whether you're a man or a woman or a non-binary person, you are definitely very attractive and to the point where it can be like, I heard standoffish, but I don't feel like that's right. I feel like it's more like, you might give off like a standoffish energy even though you don't mean to, but I feel like what I'm trying to get at here is that you're a very attractive person and people just find that intimidating. I heard when I saw this card, now this is sort of a personal phrase that I heard in my lifetime, so don't go searching for it, you probably won't find it, but I heard Thief of Heart. So I feel like you're somebody, especially, that's so funny. He has a heart in his pocket. I just noticed that. That's like the first thing I saw heard when I saw this card. And, that makes me feel like you're like a heartbreaker a little bit. You don't mean to be. I don't feel like you go out of your way. I don't want to say that. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place. This probably applies to half of you. I do get some kind of player vibes. You might just be dating around and then some other people, or specifically women, perceive you as a player, even though you might not be. I just want to reiterate that this is how women see you. This is not how you actually are. This is just how you're perceived. So the main takeaway I'm getting so far is that you're intimidating, you're attractive, and you steal hearts. Is the main thing I get from that Thief card. Some people want to, or some women want to have kids with you, for sure. That's something that some women and I get that with this Fox coming out. You're a very attractive person, so I feel like there's gonna be people that genuinely are wow, I'd love to have a kid with that person because my kid would look great. That's sort of what I'm getting from that Conception coming out. But yeah, the main thing I'm getting from this group is that women are very intimidated by you. Now, this could have to do with a couple things. It could actually do with just how attractive you are, or it could be how you hold yourself, how you carry yourself, or both. It could also be both. But I feel like for most of you, it's actually both. With this group, and I hate to say it, but I do get this player vibe. But I feel like that's how women are perceiving you. I don't feel like that's how you actually are. I feel like you might be a Sagittarius, to be honest, with the Sagittarius placement coming out, as well as the vibes that I'm just getting from this group. I feel like you're very confident. I feel like you're very attractive. I feel like you're somebody who can like, who's very good at speaking, and that's why I really do think this, like, you might be a Sagittarius or have a major Sagittarius placement. If not, you just have very Sagittarian energy to you. Because I get that. I feel like a lot of Sagittarians are mistaken for players because they like explore socially so much. And that's sort of what I'm getting from you. I feel like that's probably why this thief is coming out as well. That, like, you know, you might talk to one woman and, you know, you're not taking it super seriously. So you're going to talk to another woman. And then so she sees you as a player, even though you're just talking to women. You're not actually dating anybody, believe it or not. So yeah, that's what I'm mainly getting from your oracle cards so far. Let's see what your tarot has to say. We've got the Nine of Swords coming out. So with this group, I feel like that just goes back to what I was saying. There is a feeling of intimidation. That's what this Nine of Swords is saying. Women find you intimidating. You know, I honestly just got, this came to mind while I'm doing this reading, is that maybe you have a very, like, good job, even. Like, maybe you make a lot of money, and that's part of why they find you so intimidating. That, I don't think this is true, but I just heard that you might, like, you know, get money in not so, like, ethical ways, like stealing and stuff. That might be why this thief is coming out, and that could also make you a bit intimidating, to be honest. Yeah, there's definitely an emphasis on you being intimidating with this spread here. Let's see what your next card says. We got the Empress. Okay, so when I see this card, this is how women want to see themselves with you. I feel like you're like, I heard hot commodity, but that's not what I wanted to say. You're like, maybe that, it makes sense with this. Like, women want you, basically. Like I said, I do get player vibes, but you can, like, when you have player vibes, you do tend to attract a lot of women, or else you wouldn't have player vibes, to be honest. Like, people wouldn't perceive that about you if you didn't have a bunch of women around you. So my main takeaway from this group is that women want to be with you. Potentially, men want to be you. And that you're just very intimidating, honestly. Like, that's the biggest thing. I'm like, that is like what this spread is just screaming that to me, especially with this domination. Like, I feel like this could even be just like how other men see you. If you're a man, they could just see you as a very dominating person, or it could just be people in general, I should say. They could just see you as a very dominating person, whether you're dominating the conversation or you're dominating, you know, them physically even. You know, I just feel like this is a very dominating person, basically. So, but that's just, okay, I just want to clarify again, that is just the perception. This is what people get from you. So you might not actually be a very dominating person. You could actually be a very, especially, to be honest with you, especially with this Sagittarius coming out. Sagittarius is a very, like, it seems like a very dominant sign, and it seems like a very hard sign, but it's really soft. It's a soft sign. That Sagittarians have a very soft core. They kind of remind me of Cancer sometimes, in the sense that they have like an outer layer that's very hard, and it takes a minute to get through to the softer layer, but the soft layer is there. It just takes time to get there. And I feel like that's you. I feel like you do have a soft inside, but you don't show that first thing to people. And that's probably why you come across as so intimidating, honestly. So I'm going to pull some charms. Oh my God, I forgot to light my incense. So I'm going to do that super quick. I'm so sorry. Go. Okay, now we got it. I'm sorry about that. Let's get to your charms now. Oh wow, a lot came out for you. So yeah, again, I am getting some Sag vibes, believe it or not, with these two coming out. Because we got this like fiery sun element, and then we've got this like Zen lotus, and I feel like that's very Sag, honestly. Like there's a fiery, feisty element to Sag, but there's also a very like chill, peace version to Sag, or like side, sorry. So that's what I'm getting with these two. I feel like that's just confirmation that you could be a Sagittarius, or you're just very similar to a Sagittarius. I feel like even though you come across as intimidating, the people that do know you see you as an angel. So the women that do know you do see you as a very sweet person. They perceive you very sweetly. And then this crown came out. So with this crown, I almost feel like you, again, very leader, very dominating, very intimidating. Like, I feel like that's how a king would have been viewed, as intimidating at some point. Like, you wouldn't just go up and talk to a king. You'd be a little scared too. Like, you don't know how that's going to be perceived. So I feel like that's where this charm is coming from. And then we have this butterfly and this starfish. And it makes me feel like you're somebody who can regenerate and change, which again goes back to this Sagittarian energy. Sagittarius changes. Sagittarius is not somebody who likes to like sit still. And I feel like that is in more ways than one. That's not just physically, it's spiritually too. Like, a Sagittarian isn't going to want to be in the same place for too long. So I feel like that's sort of what this is confirming. I feel like there's definitely some weird confirmation about you being a Sagittarius. So I'm sorry, you can totally not be a Sagittarius and this reading resonate with you. So don't take that, any type of way. But I feel like a lot of you that chose this reading are probably Sagittarians. So that's all I'm really getting for this group. I hope you found it helpful. And if you wish to support my channel, please subscribe. And once again, thank you. Hello, group number 2. This is your tarot reading for how women view you. If you chose this pile, you chose the Petrified Wood. Really super cool piece. It really feels just like a stone. I don't know if you've ever held one of these, but they feel just like stones. And they sound like it too. So we're going to get into your oracles first and then your tarot. All right, let's get started. Your first card is Raccoon. Your next card is Seeker. Light attribute, thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. Shadow attribute, inability to commit to a path once found. Then we have 35 with Perception. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and take a good, hard, deep look at it. Interesting, these cards already go together. Actually, the raccoon does. I'll get to that in a minute too. These three go together. And your last card is Loss with Pisces in, I think that's not Jupiter. Is that Saturn? I think that's Saturn. Pisces and Saturn in the 12th house. Sorry about that. All right. So right off the bat, this is somebody who's looking. Women see you as somebody who's looking. That could mean a few things. You could genuinely be like seeking spiritual truths here, and you might just look like a spiritual seeker to them. Or you could be somebody who's genuinely looking to date somebody. You're looking for a partner. You're looking for, it doesn't even need to be romantic. It could just be like a friend. Or you're looking to fill a loss in your life with this loss card coming out. You're looking to, for some of you, I feel like women see you as, and I don't think you mean to do this, but they see you as somebody who's looking to fill the void of somebody who was already there once. This makes me feel as though some of you have recently broken up with somebody, and this is like a known thing in your circle. And maybe you're just making yourself very available, and that's just what's coming out here. Like maybe that's just what a lot of women in your circle seem to see with you. Another way to interpret this is that you're just somebody who's very interested in learning. Is something that I'm getting from this. You're very interested in learning. So like you might be very interested in learning a bunch of different topics. You might be interested in math, science, reading. You might be interested in more niche topics like for instance spirituality, or like even like astronomy. I just heard astronomy. That makes me feel like you might be into like astronomy. Not astrology, but astronomy. It's different. So I feel like you're somebody who's just constantly looking for information as well. You could be seen as sort of like a bookworm, even, is something that I heard. I feel like I got a weird message just now, and it might not make sense with these cards, but I feel like you like to go on hikes too. You might be a very nature-oriented person, and I feel like women see this. And to be honest, they like it. If you're interested in nature, they like it. And interestingly, this petrified wood came out. Makes me feel like you're an old soul as well, especially with the seeker and perception coming out. And the petrified wood makes me feel as though you are an old soul, and that like people like specifically women are perceiving that. They see you as an old soul. Interestingly, with this raccoon, so I was going to explain why this connects to all of that. Raccoons are scavengers, which is very similar to a seeker, if you ask me. So I definitely feel like you're somebody who's looking. Interestingly, maybe you're not trying to make that super well known with this card. It makes me feel that way because there's so much black around it, and he's almost like hiding in the darkness. Maybe you don't realize this about yourself. Maybe that's what this means. Maybe you are making yourself very much available, but it's like on a subconscious level, and you're just not aware of that. And I feel as though like women are picking up on this. So I'm going to get into your tarot now. We have the Five of Pentacles coming out. Yeah. Okay. So definitely, this might not be like a relationship that was recently lost. It could be anything. It could be a person in your life passed away. It could be like an animal in your life passed away. It could be that somebody just moved away from you. But what I'm getting from this card and this card is that you lost something recently. And whether or not you're intentionally doing this, you're making it known to people. And for some of you, that's by making yourself very available. And that could mean a few things. That doesn't necessarily mean like romantically available. It could mean just like you're making time for other people to come into your life right now, particularly women in this instance, for whatever reason. Maybe you just have a preference towards being around women. And that's just sort of what I'm getting from this. Like you lost something and you're trying to fill that hole a little bit. And I don't think there's anything entirely wrong with that, but I do want to say that you should definitely like consider that, like definitely reflect upon what you've lost and maybe why you lost it, if there's a reason, or, just, it's tough, especially if you've like lost somebody, like they passed on. It's tough because, it's easy to let that affect our everyday life. And to be honest, there's really no like cure for that kind of sadness. It's just something that you learn to live with. So I think that this reading is just sort of coming out to remind you to really like be aware of that aspect of things. Don't let that subconsciously take over everything that you do. Let's get this next card flipped. We have the Chariot. Yes. Oh my God, yes. So this is sort of like a story here. And whether or not this is a message from your spirit guides or just maybe, hold on. I have a few messages right off the bat here. Either you've lost something or someone and you're going to move on from it, or you had lost something big in your life. Could have been a big relationship, could have been somebody in your family, something important in your life you lost. And this is you moving on from it. And perhaps maybe you've learned a lot from this. Maybe that's why the seeker and the perception is coming out. Maybe you've learned so much from losing whatever this is, and you've become a more evolved person for it. And I think that's how women view you. They see you as somebody who has grown, who has overcome some really tough like challenges in your life. And that's like what this Chariot does. It moves on from the challenges. It gets through the challenges. It moves forward more specifically. So if that's not with like resonating with you right away, if this Chariot card isn't, then that might just be what's to come for you. Like maybe women will see that you can move on from this like lacking energy or this loss that you've like went through. I'm gonna pull some charms. So with these two charms, I feel like there's definitely an emphasis. I'm so sorry. There's definitely an emphasis on growth and transformation, which is exactly what this Chariot card is doing. When I look at it coming from this Five of Pentacles card, it just looks like you have moved on, you've transformed your mindset, you've grown from it. That's sort of what I was getting. So I feel like that's just reassuring that. We've got this dragon coming out, which makes me believe that whatever this is or was, you gained a lot of wisdom from it. And I think the women in your life totally see that. They've seen that you're moving on from this like sad energy, to be honest, whatever caused it. And interesting, this one came out like this. And so whenever this comes out like this, I see it as half empty and this is half full. So I'm trying to say that you've changed your mindset to like a more optimistic mindset potentially, or you're going to. And I think, again, the women in your life just see that. And to be honest, they appreciated that. That's something that takes time, energy, and willpower to do. So honestly, that's all I'm really getting for this reading. I hope you find it helpful. And if you wish to support my channel, please subscribe. And again, thank you. Hello, pile number 3. This is your tarot reading for how women view you. You chose the black kyanite. This is a really beautiful stone. I just love how it feathers out. I know kyanite just does that, but it's just so, I'm sorry, I gotta stop myself. It's a really pretty stone. So we'll get into your oracles first and then your tarot. I am not gonna lie to you, I am a little wiped out from the first 2 readings, but we're gonna keep going. So my apologies if I sound a little tired today. All right, your first card is the Spider. That's a very beautiful card. I actually love the rainbow spider web. I don't think I've ever pulled this card before. So, awesome. Our next card is, ooh, God. Light attributes, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Shadow attributes, despotism, I don't know what that means, and cruelty, using power to control people. Your next card is compassion. Number 15, the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. And then your last card is Pisces, or sorry, let me resay that, is the moon in Pisces in the 12th house with empathy. All right, interesting. This is a very sweet group right off the bat. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're very sweet. You're very compassionate. You have that coming out in these 2 cards saying that you're compassionate. Women see this. They view that in you, especially with empathy coming out. You have empathy and compassion coming out twice, which makes me believe that you're a very special person is what I just heard, but a very empathetic person. With this spider coming out, interestingly, I think you're a very creative person, especially with it being a rainbow from the web that's super like creative and beautiful. I feel like you're a very creative person, very creative, empathetic. A lot of artists are very in tune with their either their feminine side or their empathy, and I'm getting that from this pile completely. You're a very empathetic person, and you're very creative is the main two things I'm getting from this. Sometimes you might come across as a little arrogant with the God card coming out, but honestly, it's not really like, if that is true, I'm not really like picking up on that as strong as the other things that I'm mentioning, like empathy and creativity. I feel as though you might be very on guard with the black kyanite being your crystal that you chose. And the reason being is because this is a very, I believe, protective stone. So I feel like that's, you might not necessarily be spiritually protecting yourself in that kind of way, but I feel like you might be on guard. Like you don't just let people know who you are right away. You don't just open up for everybody to see. You're that shoulder for other people, and other people might open up to you, but I don't feel like you reciprocate that. And that's not like a negative thing. Take your time with people. I think that's a really healthy thing personally, is when you take your time to get to know somebody. Some people, interestingly, I'm kind of channeling this energy right now where it's not that they're upset with you for not opening up with them sooner. It's just that they really wish you would. It's like they're not mad or upset. They might be like a little bit sad is sort of what I'm picking up on here, but there's somebody in your life that really wishes that you would open up a little more to them. I'm not going to tell you what to do necessarily, but that's the energy that I am picking up on with this reading, and it probably is a woman in your life. So let's get to your tarot cards. We have the Magician. What did I say? You are a creative person. You have a lot of creative energy. Sorry, I got really hyped with that. You have a lot of creative energy. And I get that with this spider, and I completely get that with this Magician. And not even just the spider and the Magician, but you have God coming out. What is more of a creative energy than God? So yeah, this person is extremely empathetic, extremely creative, and women see this. Next card is the Three of Wands. Okay, interesting. So not only are you creative, but I think that you have the tendency to be a little bit meticulous as well. You might plan things quite a bit. I heard perfectionist even. You could be a little bit of a perfectionist. And that comes with the territory of being creative sometimes. Sometimes you have a vision that you just want the world to see the same vision as you, and that's where that perfectionist energy can come from, and I'm guessing that's what it is with you. So yeah, this is a really beautiful pile, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of yellow here too. So it makes me feel as though you have a very optimistic view of life. But although you're very optimistic, you're still open. Like you're still open to helping people that are like, okay, let me rephrase that. Your optimism helps you help other people, if that makes sense. Like you can understand that there's pain and hurt in the world, but you almost want people that are in pain or that are hurt to see the positive side of the world, to see the beauty is what I just heard. You want to spread the beauty. And I think that especially if you're an artist, if we're talking about an artist here, which I really do think we are. I think a lot of you that clicked on this pile are artists. I think that women see this, they admire this. To be honest, some of them find it very attractive. But the most beautiful thing about this aspect of this pile is that I truly believe that you use your art to show people the beauty of the world. And that's genuinely very beautiful. I almost teared up a second ago. It's a very beautiful, like, mission, if you will. So we're going to pull some charms. So this group is not only, I guess this, you know what? I know why this charm is coming out. So I didn't mention it before because I wasn't picking up on it, but now that this charm came out, I totally am picking up on it. Not only are you creative, not only are you very empathetic, but you're a very good leader too. And that's because this charm is coming out as well as the God card is coming out. That makes you very, and like being creative can be very helpful for leading. It's very important to be creative if you're interested in being a leader of any kind. So you might be Irish, potentially, with this clover coming out. I just heard my boyfriend saying the luck of the Irish in an Irish accent, like he always does. So that's why I'm saying that. You might also just be a very lucky person, or clovers could hold a very important or just very significant meaning in your life. I have him holding it. There we go. And the last thing that came out is this anchor. And when I looked at this just now, I heard committed. So I feel like this sort of goes with the compassion and the empathy. You're a very committed person when you are involved with somebody. You're very anchored is what I heard when I saw that. And that's really sweet. That's really beautiful. So that's all I'm really getting for this group. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to support my channel, please subscribe. And once again, thank you. All right, thank you for coming to the Swamps for another tarot reading. I hope you all found this helpful. I would just like to quickly say we are now over 100 subscribers, and I'm very excited about that, and just want to take a second to thank every single one of you for subscribing. It means a lot to me. This is something that I really want to do. So once again, thank you to everyone that has subscribed to me. Much love, much light sent to you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.